What do it do, you two? Is your boys CJ, Frank, and Tro, aka FCT, ENT. You got all three of us here. Welcome back to another Vidya. And
Did
today
you?
we are reviewing WCW Slamboree 2000.
What a show, man. What a
Oof.
fucking show this was.
These
I
two boys are
apologize for everything.
the this show.
No
So
reason to apologize. It was a damn good show. Oh, hold on. I haven't shown, by the way. It's been a long time since I've actually done a pay per view review. I'm not used to actually showing the show. But yeah, here it is Slamboree 2000.
oh boy. Oh, there you
Oh
go.
boy, this was a damn good show. Oh boy. All right,
This is what
so
happens when a joke gets out of hand.
yeah, we're gonna talk about David Flair. I'll tell you that. We're gonna get to him.
It all started with a diamond is an upside down, you know what? And this is how we got here.
What do you mean? You know what? You know you can say it, right? We're not.
I know.
Yeah, we're not censored, Tro. Come on now. You can
It's
say
still the first 2 minutes. The stupid algorithm is
Oh,
going to
who
be.
cares about the algorithm? By the way, Tro, you know who I'm wearing today, right? That means he's
Yes,
scoring. That means he's scoring tonight. Every
Alexander
time,
Romanov.
but
every
you're not
time I put
scoring
on,
tonight, Frank.
shut the fuck up. Every time I put the Romanov jersey on, he scores. All right, so let's get into this. Slamboree 2000. The show kicks off with a Thunder recap, which is recapping when they had that big battle royal where Randy Savage actually made his final appearance in WCW. Um, and the battle royal, I believe, was to crown the number one contender for Great American Bash. Then we have a bus pull up with the Millionaires Club in it. And after that, you cut to the backstage area where the New Blood is, and they are watching this and they are making fun of the Millionaires Club.
Hey, Frank, real
Yeah,
quick. Sorry to
yeah.
interrupt. This is a genuine question. I'm not making a joke or nothing.
No, go ahead.
Was this before or after Vince Russo? Or
This
during?
was during. This was
Okay.
during. He's on
Okay.
this show. He's on
Cool.
this show. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. If anything, any story, any show that involves the Millionaires New Blood storyline, he's on. He's a part of that. That he wrote that angle.
Gotcha. 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 Gotcha.
Okay.
If it seems goofy and strange and stupid, it's
No,
coming
Hey,
from
no.
Vince.
hey.
If it's damn good, that means it's coming from Vince. By the way, Christian actually saw this show for once. He actually watched the show that we're reviewing, and he actually had something to say about the show. He actually posted this right after watching the show. I have more respect for Vince Russo. He actually
Yeah.
watched the show and posted that on Facebook right after.
Actually, well, can I be honest, Frank?
Yeah.
I didn't watch this show.
No, I know you didn't. You never do. I know
Okay.
you do. I know you didn't.
Don't be giving out false information, my friend.
No, I know you didn't watch the show. We always do these reviews. What it's great to have
I
Tro. At
don't.
least Tro
You know
watched
why
this.
I pick certain shows? Because I've seen them in the past and I can remember them.
Heck, I've seen this show in the past, and to do a review, I needed to watch the show this morning. I need to watch the show before I do a review because I want to. I have my certain like. Okay, I know I like this match. I know I like that match, but I still want to watch it either the day before or the day of to so I remember everything.
I got
Now,
you. I got you.
opening match. May he rest in peace, Chris Candido, the cruiserweight
Candino?
champion. Yeah,
Candino?
Candido. Yeah,
It's Candido. Dido.
this idiot. Anyway, Chris
You said
Candido.
Dino, bruh. Come on, Frank.
Chris Candido is defending the cruiserweight title against the Artist. The Artist, formerly known as Prince Amukamura. No, I mean Prince Ike. Anyway,
From Mukamura, really?
that's a real name.
Okay.
Now, who was Candido coming down the ring with?
Sonny.
Yeah.
Murder alarm!
Hey, real quick, say murder alarm in Vince McMahon's voice.
Murder
Ah!
Ah!
That's the first time that's the first time I was on here for the murder alarm. What an
So,
interesting.
congratulations.
Yeah,
Now this match.
very rarely I have to pull it out.
Hey yo.
Whoa. Hey, pause. Pause.
Anyway, so this was a decent match. It was really all about the feud between the women more than this actual match. Um, Charmel, I'm forgetting her WCW name now.
Paisley, right?
Paisley, yes, Paisley and Sunny, of course. Their feud, and hey, it paid off when they brawled towards the end of the match. Crowd went wild, so you know that's exactly what we were looking for. Tro, I'll ask you because I know the other one over there who's not even on camera didn't even see the show. What did you think about the opening match here?
It's great to see Chris Candido. He was before my time, so
Oh
I
my
didn't
god,
really get a chance to see all of his matches.
That's disrespectful, Frank.
what's disrespectful? You aren't on camera.
Oh, I mean, no. Call me the other one. Wow.
The other one, you are the other one for this review.
Damn. I'm the third wheel, huh?
Yes, third wheel.
It's not the
Third
first,
wheel.
the third wheel. So whatever.
No, we are all treated equal here on FT.
Yeah. It's all jokes. It's all
ENT.
jokes.
Next up,
Frank's
again.
fired after this show, though. Just saying.
Well, I've actually,
Next show will be me and Trish Stratus.
no, it's going to be me and Alexandria Daddario.
No. Alex did already no. She's
Well,
busy.
even though you didn't,
She's busy making B-list movies.
those are not B-list movies. You watch what you say about my wife.
Your wife's a whore.
Anyway, even though you didn't watch, what did you think about this opening match? What a weird question to ask. Even though you didn't watch, what did you think?
Believe it or not, I actually know these wrestlers very well. Chris Candido, he wasn't the same after he left WWF. He just didn't perform the same. Tammy Lynn Sitch, the murderer, I have no respect for her, but whatever. And then the artist, Prince Ayukea, not really familiar with his work, but I thought this was I thought this would be a solid match.
He thought it would be. He thought it would be. What a review. I didn't watch the show, but I think this match would have been great. I think
This match sounds great.
Next up, then we get a hardcore title match. Norman Smiley and a guest partner, a special guest partner, a mystery partner, who is a special guest partner who I was not going to reveal just yet.
Who is it? Who is it?
Against the late great Terry Funk, may he rest in peace. So
Right.
Norman Smiley comes out in the Kansas City Royals gear because they're in the Kemper Arena. Of course, we're going to talk about that when we get to the main event. So his special mystery partner is dressed up like fucking Salvador Perez. He's got the catching gear. He's got the catcher's mask. Although there's an actual mask under the catcher's gear. And then, of course, it turns out to be the late great Ralphus. Again, this show, the first four matches, there's like a bunch of guys who have sadly passed on since. So, look, the hardcore division in WCW was nowhere near as
No,
great.
it wasn't. It wasn't. They did a lot of weird stuff in the hardcore division. They did stuff
That's
like
not what I'm saying. They didn't do weird stuff, but you go ahead, continue.
don't fucking interrupt me.
You interrupted me. What are you talking about?
They did a match in like a car, like a little car pit or whatever.
Yeah, that was cool.
Junkyard Brawl, I believe that was called, right?
That was awesome. Yes, that was awesome.
They did a lot of Norman Smiley. God bless.
Was very entertaining.
What?
Was very entertaining.
I said God bless him. I didn't knock him.
I didn't say you knocked him. I'm just saying he was very entertaining. But
entertaining than you.
let me get
Go
back to
ahead.
my point. Let me get back to my point since you interrupted me, and then accuse me of interrupting you literally a second later after you interrupted me. But okay, uh, it may not have been as great as WWE in not like '99, that hardcore era, that hardcore division, I guess you would say. But it was still very entertaining, especially if you had Norman Smiley and hey, even Ralphus too. I mean, they were very entertaining together. Um, this was a decent match. I gave it pretty much the same rating I gave the first match. It was 2.5 stars. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the only problem that I would have with this match is when they were backstage. There was a few times where they were using weapons that really weren't weapons. Like at one point, Norman Smiley picks up a box that he throws it at Terry Funk, and you can tell by just how it floats to Funk, like there's clearly nothing in it. And then like it hits Funk, and Funk's acting like he just got shot. He's like, ah!
Now, see,
May I?
would have made that box sleeve seem heavy.
Who?
WWF.
WWE. Of course they would. And then
They would have put bowling balls in that.
oh my gosh, and then you throw it at Funk. Holy
Concussion
shit.
City, baby.
So he throws a box. There's clearly nothing in that box, and I just love how Terry Funk sells it like he just got shot. But I mean, what are you gonna do with your Terry Funk? I mean, And then they had some type of like, I don't know. It's like you ever see the posters like there'd be like a holder, like a box that would hold. I don't know. I don't know how I can explain it, but it was some type of tube that clearly wasn't a strong tube that I believe Norman Smiley hit Terry Funk over the head with like a couple
It
of
was like a
times.
pipe, right? Like a lead pipe, like a lead pipe.
It was in the shape of a lead pipe, but it was not a lead pipe.
Okay.
It was like a little box, like what you would put a poster in. And he hits him with it. It's like, how does that hurt? Other than that, though, this was an entertaining match. Tro, I know you've seen this. What are your thoughts?
Yes. It's always great to see Terry Funk, especially in 2000, post his Chainsaw Charlie career.
Chainsaw Charlie.
Chainsaw Charlie made his debut at Nassau Coliseum.
Nice. What a building. You mean the barn?
Yeah.
The barn.
The barn, yes.
Yes.
He almost lit himself on fire in accident that night.
You know, Frank, I have thoughts on this match.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So
Even though you interrupted Tro. Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just nice to see Terry Funk, and WCW hardcore matches were probably the worst out of the big three at this point, but still better than nothing.
Better than what ECW was doing? I disagree.
I said it was I said this was the worst of the big three.
Three. So WWE, WCW, ECW.
Yeah, this was like the worst hardcore division at the time.
I would put this over ECW.
I would never put anything above ECW, especially in the 2000s when they gave no fucks.
I have thoughts on this match.
Go ahead.
So, I know I didn't watch the show. I didn't watch this pay per view, but I do have thoughts on these matches as we're going through them. Norman Smiley was a very entertaining character. I love Norman Smiley. The big wiggle, and he would come out with a football helmet, and he was very, very fun. And Terry Funk is fantastic. Legendary. His body of work, his career speaks for itself, right there, folks. I mean, he was hardcore before hardcore was hardcore.
It was hardcore before there was a hardcore division.
Right, exactly. With his little branding iron and all that stuff, and all that good stuff. Ralphus was cool. He was a cool little Robin to like Norman Smiley's, I guess you would say, Batman, but Norman Smiley was nowhere near a Batman. But this was a very entertaining match.
It's so a shame. I mean, it's so a shame too that like Ralphus passed away in like 2019, and nobody found out about it until Jericho heard about it like a year later.
Yeah,
that was so sad.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
think
you want to
Ralph.
hear something really sad? I'm going to go off subject for just a split second here.
Go ahead.
But I watched Dark Side of the Ring last week, and it was on Earthquake.
Oh, that was a good episode. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yep.
they said that nobody came to his funeral.
Yeah. None of the wrestlers
Yeah,
came.
none of the wrestlers came to his funeral.
You made
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you made that
That's got to
sound
be
worse.
devastating. I mean,
No. Yeah.
Well, you look at it like this. Not everyone is friends in the wrestling industry. You kind of have to see them as your coworkers. And would you go to a former coworker's funeral?
I pissed on my coworker's grave. I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying, like, would you go to a random coworker's friend
Right.
who you haven't really seen in years?
Right. That's a good point.
Probably
That's
not.
a good point. Yeah.
Like, it's sad, but still.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch the recent episode on Buff and the Bagwells.
Oh, there's something on that show, Frank, that you're going to be like, what the fuck?
Okay.
But
I'm
anyway,
ready for that.
anyway,
Yeah, we're getting back to the show.
yeah.
So a limo pulls up, and it is Courtney Cox. No, sadly it isn't, but it's actually her husband.
Was it the show that she came to, though?
No, she was on a Nitro, like the very next, or it might have been a Thunder. Oh no, he won the belt at a Thunder, so this would have been a Nitro. She was on the very next Nitro, where it was like, what are you doing? You're not a wrestler.
Yeah.
I think that was exactly what kicked off
The only
very
thing that
next
would have made
Nitro.
that segment better is if the entire cast of Friends had hopped out of that limo.
That would have been cool, especially if Lisa Kudrow was in full Phoebe character. That would have been cool.
Oh my god!
Anyway, so limo pulls up. It's David Arquette, and he's immediately greeted by Mean Gene. And Mean Gene asks, "With all the money that your wife is making, she's making about $1,000 per episode on Friends." For some reason, he didn't mention Friends. He's like, "She makes $1,000 per episode." Like, okay, well, the greatest sitcom of all time. You can say the show,
I guess they didn't want to promote it because it wasn't on a TNN network.
right? Now it's on TBS. It's on TBS now in syndication.
Yeah.
They would have promoted it today. Turner would have been like, how
heavy. Yeah.
What happened?
I said they would have promoted it heavy.
Yeah, Turner would have been like, "Me, Gene, how dare you not mention the show? It's on TBS every day." So Mean Gene,
bro, it's on TV. I kid you not. I go look at TBS. It's on for 6 hours every day.
And then in the nighttime, it's on Nick at Night. It's the
for
greatest
8 hours.
Yeah, it's the greatest sitcom of all time, man. Hang on one sec.
Did he leave us, Tro?
I don't know. You're blind, so you can't see what's happening.
Wow.
It's the greatest sitcom of all time, and it has the greatest television character of all time, right there. The GOAT character.
Phoebe?
Yes. So anyway,
I thought Ross was better.
Ross was entertaining, but I would still go Phoebe.
You
Phoebe
ate
was
my sandwich?
That was a great moment, yeah.
Well, listen to you old men talking about your old men shows.
Well,
hey,
how old were you in 2004? How old were you in 2004?
It's better than your stupid little game.
I was like 6 or 7.
It's better than Game of Thrones.
I don't know. Game of Thrones had tits. I mean,
Game of Thrones is fake.
There you go.
Game of Thrones is fake. Those fights are not real.
What?
Game of Thrones is fake.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Do Game of Thrones fans actually like I can't believe they put over this guy. This guy's the hardest worker on the show. He needs to be the
This
top.
This guy's got 5-star matches, or this guy's got 5-star fights. He needs
Fight
to be more.
Yeah.
Dave Meltzer would be. Oh God! Don't let me get into that. Don't let me get into Dave Meltzer.
So anyway, Mean Gene is talking to David Arquette as David Arquette has just arrived in a limo, and he's like, with all the money your wife makes, she makes about $1,000 per episode. Why aren't you rolling with the Millionaires Club? To which Arquette says, hey, I got my own money. I'm doing my own thing too over here, you know. And
I
then
don't need my wife.
what happened?
I don't need my wife.
His wife was banging back then. She still is today, though.
No, the problem with her today, Frank, is too
Was
much plastic surgery.
oh please.
Wow. Okay.
So then Mean Gene asks if David Arquette is afraid to go into the Triple Cage main event tonight, and Arquette essentially admits that he is. He's like, you don't let this smile fool you. You know, I'm very scared. Next, Sean Stasiak versus Kurt Hennig. This was the one match on this show where I could have took it or leave it. I gave this 1 star. I wasn't too crazy about it. I believe Sean
Okay, Dave
Stasiak.
Meltzer.
What happened?
Okay, Dave Meltzer with your stars.
I'm better than Dave Meltzer. I don't go over 5 stars. That's the top ranking. What he destroyed his own rankings, his star ranking.
Yeah.
Like 6
Well,
stars.
in case you can't tell, we don't like Dave Meltzer on this channel.
Nobody does. Stasiak won it with the Henningplex. I believe that's what that would be called here because he's not Mr. Perfect. So he calls it the Henningplex, I believe.
The okay plex. Good job, Plex.
So
You
Tro,
tried Plex.
so Tro, you watched the show, so you are the first one I ask. What did you think of Sean Stasiak versus Kurt Hennig?
Well, it's always
May
great
he-
to see
May
to
he
see
rest in
meat.
peace. To see me make
So
Kurt Hennig rest.
meat.
Yeah,
Always nice to see meat.
Joe loves
And
himself.
Oh my goodness.
oh boy. And 2000 Mr. Perfect, where
Kurt Hennig.
Kurt Hennig.
He works for different
That's right. I can't say Mr. Perfect. It was Kurt Hennig back then. If I remember correctly, after WCW closed, he went to like the XWF and then eventually WWE again.
There is a extra on one of the Hulk Hogan DVDs that I have, like a couple of the Hogan sets, where Hogan is actually facing Kurt Hennig in the XWF. That was Jimmy Hart's promotion.
Yeah, that was a shit show.
Did you say in the XWF?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I can't say much about it. I've never seen. I've only watched that one match. What?
XWF in your face.
Was that their tagline?
Yes. And they said it on every DVD.
I've never watched it.
Oh,
except for that one match.
They had Willie Nelson say "in your face." They had Hacksaw Jim Duggan doing interviews. They had all kinds of shit, dude. Oh
wow.
man.
Yeah. Okay, so
I thought it was a good match though.
Okay.
Shout out to Wrestling with Regret because he's the one that covered that show.
Yeah.
And all those DVDs, he watched all that crap. So shout out to him for suffering through. And that's how I know a lot of the info.
All right, Mr. I review shows, but I don't watch them beforehand. What did you think of Sean Stasiak versus Kurt Hennig?
Boy, Kurt Hennig, legendary wrestler, but this match was not a legendary match.
He didn't see it, but that is what he thinks.
You could be saying like, I can't believe Mr. Perfect. I mean, Kurt Hennig did a 450 splash off the top of the ladder. Wasn't that like the coolest spot, guys?
And Mr. Perfect doesn't do 450 splashes. He's better than that.
Exactly.
He's a classically trained athlete. You guys
Perfect plex off the ladder.
You guys are mocking me for now watching these shows and still being able to review them. That takes talent.
That doesn't take talent. That takes, I think this is how good this was, or I think this was bad. I think that doesn't take talent.
You should have watched Wrestling Regrets review of Slamboree 2000.
I don't really watch Wrestling Regret, but
I was talking to CJ.
Yeah, no. That's a good channel, though, Frank. You should watch it.
Yeah, I see. I stay away from most wrestling reviews because I expect on YouTube because I expect them to be smart markish and
Oh no! Oh boy! Oh boy!
most of the reviews I've seen are. I've heard people have told me that Wrestling with Regret isn't that type of reviewer, so
It's not.
I have considered to watch him, but I haven't gotten. There's a lot of shit with streaming and all that. There's a lot of stuff to watch. So one of these days I'll watch one of his reviews. So next up we have Russo backstage with oh my gosh, Kimberly Page in 2000.
Yes,
Oh my
please.
gosh, yes. There is something about when cute girls turn heel. It just makes them a million times more cute. Kimberly Page was that to a T. When she turned heel and did that All About Me character, oh my goodness. But so it's Kimberly, Miss Elizabeth, and Scott Steiner backstage with Vince Russo. Russo is getting all hyped up. He's excited that Stasiak just beat Kurt Hennig. That's Kurt Hennig, Tro. None of this perfect.
Yes,
This is a
I know.
WCW show. We don't call him perfect.
He's not perfect back then. He's okay.
Oh, yeah,
Mr.
I was gonna say in WCW he wasn't perfect, but go ahead.
um, so Russo is celebrating Sean Stasiak's win, and he slaps Scott Steiner on the back, like, "Yeah, you're gonna win too tonight." And Steiner's, he's getting ready for his match, so he looks at Russo. He's like, "Don't touch me," and that's how that scene ends. He also, I should mention, he also badmouths Liz, him being Russo, because of course they were in an
Pronouns,
angle.
pal.
What?
Pronouns, pal.
Yes, he being Russo. Um, so that was a little good. That was a good segment there where they showed a little dissension in the new blood. So then, Scott, like I said, Scott Steiner was getting ready for his match. His match is up next. So Hugh Morris comes out and
Humorous.
grabs Humorous comes out and grabs the mic and he says, "Humorous was a name given to me by Eric Bischoff, and I am no longer humorous. I'm going by
Oh
my
boy.
real."
This is the stuff that you like, Frank. This is the fucking ideas of Vince Russo in the year 2000. God damn it.
One name change. Yeah, this is what Russo wrote. Yeah, one name
Uh,
change. That's what the whole show was. But anyway, humorous is like, I want to be known by my real name. Huge erection.
God.
Captain Erection for
Yeah, and this was the start of that one group, right?
no,
And
they had already started. The Misfits. The Misfits had already started at this point.
oh boy.
He was in. What's wrong with the Misfits? Come on now. You didn't even watch, so
No, but the Misfits, come on. Travel Guerrero, is that the best we could do?
Chavo Guerrero was entertaining in the Misfits.
Wow.
He
Wow.
was.
Oh my
See,
god.
you want him doing all those flips and 450 splashes and all
No, I
that.
want him as Eddie's bitch, like he was in
That
WWE.
was a good angle. That was in WWE. No, he was Eddie's bitch in WCW. That was
And
an
in
actual angle.
WWE,
And
Los
then they
Guerrero
didn't do that.
was Eddie's bitch.
No, in Los Guerreros, he was his tag team partner, which that
Eddie's
was
bitch.
very entertaining as
Eddie's
well.
bitch.
No, he was not. He turned on Eddie too in
He
the
was
end.
yeah, because he was tired of being his bitch.
But anyway, there was nothing wrong. If you want Chavo Guerrero being Eddie's bitch, watch 1998. Like I said, that was a good
Oh,
angle.
I saw 1998. I saw Slamboree 1998.
We reviewed that show.
Yes, I know.
That was one of our first like really late reviews. And if Tro was there for that one, we probably
no.
would have went 6 hours. We probably would have went 6 hours. And Christian would have been like, "All right, I'm going to bed. It's too late." It's like, "Oh,
I would have gone to bed. I don't do fucking
You didn't
shows.
go to bed that night. You actually reviewed the whole show with me. It was like 11 o'clock at night my time, which
Well, It's only 9 o'clock my time.
Yeah. So anyway, now
It's
we
not
get.
my fault that your New York fucking bullshit is so late or so early.
He just called us bullshit, bro. Time to
I said
boot
New
him.
York. I
Time
didn't
to
say
boot
anything
him.
about New Jersey.
Hey,
We're not
well,
from. What are
CJ,
you talking about? We're not
look at
from
this.
New
I
Jersey.
have sunlight, and guess what? The grass is green over here. How about you?
I have snow over here.
Oh, yes. I bet you do.
Oh, it's snowing like a mofo too, bruh.
I kept. You showed me that picture too. That was good enough to get school closed,
I guess that's
bro.
what I'm saying, Frank. Thank you. I'm like, I think you
Bro,
made
when I was a kid, when
it.
I went to school, bro, we needed a fucking blizzard to close school down. I remember
Yeah,
like every night it would snow. I would look outside and see the snowplow driving around. I'm like, man, get the fuck off the road. Trying to
yeah.
get a
That's
snow day.
I saw my dad was telling me that last night. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like it hasn't even snowed yet. It's
Yeah.
barely even raining. It's sprinkling rain,
the
and already
one
we're canceling school for tomorrow. So
the one snow day I ever got was in like March of 2009, and it was a fucking blizzard. And even I had not heard. I woke up the next day and had not heard anything about school being closed. So I actually walked all the way to the school, which is not far from the house, but I walked all the way to the school in this blizzard. And I get there and there's like one guy sweeping the snow off the steps. This is Tro, you know Martin Van Buren High School, right?
It's probably around you. I've
It
heard
is.
of it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So this guy's sweeping the steps. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm going to school. What is the school closed?" He's like, "Yeah, the school's closed. You not see all this snow?" I'm like, bro, well, we never get a snow day. What do you expect me to do?
Frank, you had to watch News 12. It's like the NBA draft. You have to hope that your school pops up and under closed.
I was watching
that's why I
Sports
was
Center.
going to say. That's why you watch the news.
I don't watch the news, bro. I was watching Sports Center in the
Then
morning.
that's on you because
Sports Center is not going to say.
I don't care.
Breaking news: Martin Van Buren High School closed. Da-da-da, da-da-da.
Yeah, I don't care. I do not watch the news. Never. I do not.
Then
But
how do
anyway,
you expect to stay informed?
well, nowadays we have the internet, but I don't need to stay informed on most of the shit.
Oh my god, because the internet is so accurate, right? Hey, Dave.
I can't believe that President Dwayne Johnson is running for re-election this year.
Do you realize
Yeah,
that
and he's going up against Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Do you realize if I want the weather, I could literally just tell this thing, I can ask this thing what the weather is, and it will tell me.
Yeah, but that you're expecting it to be accurate.
And I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who's running for president or who's running for whatever. I don't care about politics. I'm not watching for that shit. I don't care. Most of the shit on the news, I ain't looking for it. So I don't need to hear about it. But anyway, moving back on to
educated.
The show. I don't need to be educated on the shit they talk about on the news. And the one thing, the weather, this thing literally tells me what the weather is. I don't need fucking news to tell me that. Although some of the weather women
Frank, relax. We're just giving you a hard time.
I thought you were gonna say. I just look outside my window and see. Is it raining today? Smells like rain.
It looks like it's a bit cloudy out.
That's literally all you need to do. Yeah.
Frank, seems like a 30% chance of rain today.
Hang on. Frank, hang on. Where's my camera? I gotta.
Is he actually gonna do camera for once?
If I could turn it on.
Well, don't change his name.
Just
there we go.
There you go.
Frank.
No!
Frank, it would be like it'd be like that movie Mean Girls when Karen is outside. There's a chance that it's already raining now.
Yeah. The one guy who didn't watch one guy who didn't watch Mean Girls has no idea what you're doing.
I know.
You people in your old people movies.
At least we're not reviewing Mean Girls. We're actually reviewing this show, just so you know. And This guy did not watch it. At least Tro watched that when he knew.
But hey,
He knew we were reviewing.
I'm still participating.
Yeah, somewhat. Oh, I think this was good. I think
You know,
that it sounds like it would have been
hey,
good.
I did watch the Jeff Jarrett David Arquette DDP match.
Okay, well, you'll have your thoughts on that. That's good.
Yes, I did, and I think that's the only one I watched on this show. So anyway,
Moving on. So Captain Rection is going on to face Scott Steiner. And I'll tell you what, well, as I was sitting here watching this match, and look, I have not watched Slamboree 2000 in a few years. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out why Scott Steiner is facing, essentially in a mid-card match. I'm looking at this like this is one of your top heels. This is your top heel, essentially. I guess Jeff Jarrett was at the time, but this is one of your top heels, and you got him in a mid-card match. But I'll tell you what, Scott Steiner was such a damn good heel. You put him in the ring with a guy like Bill DeMott, who, I get he was in an entertaining group at this point, but not that many people really care that much about Bill DeMott. But Scott Steiner was such a heel, participating with the fans, getting them to hate him more and more, that the fans were interested in this match. And so Scott Steiner got a pretty good match out of Captain Rection. I give it 3.5 stars. After the match, Steiner Steiner beats Captain Rection with the Steiner recliner. And after the match, he keeps Captain Rection in the recliner. The Misfits, who were behind the guardrail, they were watching us in the crowd, jumped the guardrail to try to save Captain Rection, but R&B security stops them. But R&B security could not stop Booker T, which I believe this is why Scott Steiner was in a mid-card match. He was supposed to face Booker T. At least that's what Mark Madden said, which, Tro, we're going to talk about Mark Madden at one point tomorrow because involving the two Eastern Conference Finals look back, we're going to talk about Mark Madden.
Go ahead.
But anyway,
show for tomorrow, real quick, guys.
Yes, tomorrow we will be, for all the Islander fans that follow our channel, we will be looking back on the 2019-2020 season and the COVID shortened 2021 season. Technically, 2019 and 2020 was also COVID shortened as well, but 2021 is supposed to be 2020-2021. There was no 2020 in that season. So we will be looking back on that, the back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals appearances, talk about the two best seasons of our lifetimes so far. But, I believe it was supposed to be Scott Steiner versus Booker T on this show, but Booker T got hurt. So that's why Mark Madden said that Booker T was hurt. So Booker T comes out, makes the save, and that's the end of that segment. Tro, you watched the show. I know you watched the match. What did you think of this match?
Scott Steiner in the year 2000. Big pop up pump.
Charm legend, Scott Steiner.
Always. It's amazing to see just how beefy he is.
You kind of saying that Scott Steiner in the 2000 or in WCW in the 2000s, it kind of made me start to think about an idea that you and me could do where we'll cover a wrestler's time period in a company. So I think we're going to start with Stone Cold in the 90s.
Remember the Superstar series that we did?
Yeah, that was short-lived.
It was the one Brock Lesnar episode we did.
I thought we could do a shorts episode if you wanted. David Flair in WWE.
Hey, hang on a second.
Well, see, he's right about that because David Flair literally didn't do anything in WWE.
No, he did. He got his ass kicked by the Undertaker, and he had a Titantron of Ric Flair looking very disappointed.
The worst Titantron, right up there with Gregory Helms for the worst Titantron of all time. That being said,
let's get on with the show.
That being said, as we are going to get on with the show, David Flair in WCW, much different story. But go ahead, give your thoughts on this match, Tro.
I thought it was a great match. I
agree.
Scott Steiner is an absolute beast at this point, and I don't think he had won the world title just yet, but he would get it a few times in the year 2000. So
He would, like I said, he would become their top heel. I think at this point it's Jarrett. Steiner essentially jumps over Jarrett, and I love Jarrett. Jarrett was great, but Steiner was the man back in 2000. Now, you're done?
yep.
Okay, so now Captain Rection, Scott Steiner. What do you think your thoughts on this match would have been?
My thoughts probably would have been. I have a lot of respect for Scott Steiner and everything he's done and accomplished. Uh, you know, I love him. I loved him with his brother as that tag team. I thought that was great.
Yeah, Steiner brothers.
Huge erection, Hugh Morris, whatever you want to.
Captain Rection.
Okay, Captain Rection, whatever. Bill DeMott, he's a tough son of a bitch. Don't get me twisted on that. He is a tough son of a bitch. But when I think great matches, I don't think of him. If I'm being honest,
This was a good match. It was mostly
it was
because
if this was a good match, it was probably because Scott carried it.
he technically did.
Okay,
It was his work.
Thank you.
His work. It was his work with the crowd that got
Yes.
the crowd into it. He was being
Okay.
the heel. He
So
understood.
it wasn't really so much general erection, right? That's correct.
Captain Rection.
Captain erection. I'm sorry. When I get it right, want to respect his ranking. It wasn't so much Captain erection in the match. It was
Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner really carrying it. Okay.
So it was Steiner's work with the fans. He got the fans into it because he was a heel on everybody. He was yelling at the fans now. So now the fans get behind Captain Rection because they want to see the guy. They want to see the guy who's yelling at them get their ass kicked. It seems like a very easy, thing, but Scott Steiner did it to a T. He was the best at it. Now we got another Mean Gene, and nobody today does it really. So,
Right.
So now we got another Mean Gene interview where Mean Gene interviews Canyon, and Canyon says that they talk about DDP. Canyon says he considers DDP a brother.
DDT, huh?
DDP. He considers DDP. Shut up.
I can't wait for that DDT documentary on A&E coming up.
He considers DDP a brother, and also tonight he is going to take it to Mike Austin. That was essentially.
But what about DDT?
There is no DDT. Canyon does not do a DDT.
DDT yoga.
DDT. That's you get in good shape by taking DDTs.
Oh, your neck becomes a lot stronger.
Yeah, you'll get concussions and you'll think that you're skinny by then.
So now we got Mike Austin taking on Canyon. This is an okay match. 2.5 stars. I don't really have much else to say though. What do you got, Tro?
Who better than Canyon? A lot of people. A lot of people are better than Canyon.
Rest in peace to both of these guys, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mike, was this before or after Mike Austin became the fat chick thriller?
This was before that. That was the fat chick thriller. That 70s guy. That was awesome.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. He threw down the ECW title for that shit.
That was better than anything he was doing in ECW. I'll tell you that. Fucking throwing guys out of the ring, possibly giving them concussions, throwing them out to tables,
and being loved by fans and being entertaining.
I forgot to say by the way, at the end of the match, Kevin Nash runs in. This was a no contest. So Kevin Nash runs in during the match, I should say, to save Canyon, and that leads to a New Blood Millionaires Club brawl.
I can't believe Kevin Nash didn't tear a quad when he was running.
Kevin Nash is a podcast for himself. I can hit him up, and we can have him come on the show and respond to what you just said.
Look,
That being said, though,
I think Frank thinks that's a threat.
I
that being
feel
said,
threatened.
Kevin Nash is a Lions fan, so we're not going to bring him on the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, now we're definitely going to have him on the show just because you said that. Because fuck the Lions, or because
Fuck the Lions. Yes, you're right.
no,
If
because
we can't get if we can't get David Flair on the show, I don't think we're going to get Kevin.
I would love to get David Flair on this show. Come on.
Oh, oh no, that would end up badly for me.
So
that would be the end of this channel right there, folks.
so of course, again, Mike Awesome, Canyon. What do you think your feelings would have been if you saw this match?
Mike Awesome was a beast. I'm going to say that now. Mike Awesome was a straight up beast. He was a killer, man. Canyon was a good hand, good in ring performer. It's a shame what the wrestling business pretty much did to him. But not getting into that. But yeah, I think this match would have been a solid match. I think I would have enjoyed it. Not every match needs to be like, oh my god, it's high stakes or whatever. Like sometimes you just need a good little filler match, and that's probably what this one was.
Essentially, yeah. You need filler on a pay-per-view, especially when the pay-per-view is like 3 hours.
Yeah,
There definitely needs to be filler.
yeah.
So after
Well,
this,
I'm right here with my thoughts, aren't I, Frank?
well, you're bringing opinions in that have that was a good opinion. I'll say that, but you literally did not watch the show. How are you going to say if you like
that?
something?
I think the people get it. I think the people get it.
That's a problem when you're reviewing a show you haven't seen. That makes absolutely no sense. Why are you even reviewing it for? You've never seen it before. The point of a review is to tell people what your feelings on what you saw. That's the point of a review.
I got you. Somebody at my house.
Anyway, next we have Russo backstage with Liz. They're sitting in a chair next to each other, and Russo tells Liz that I want you to watch this upcoming match. I have a big surprise for you. And then he looks at her, what she's wearing. She's like, you wear that dress with him being Lex Luger. So you need to go and change. So she gets up, walks away. Russo, of course, being the heel, treating her like a jerk. And next we get the match he's talking about where a surprise is coming. Lex Luger, who is just known as the total package at this point, taking on Buff Bagwell. And this match was fun, man. Luger and Bagwell killed it. It's funny, I forgot to say this at the beginning of the show. The one thing about this show, you would think if there was one WCW show in 2000 that the internet smart mark fans would actually enjoy, it'd be this one. Because they love when the babyface wins, right? For most of the main event matches, except for the last one, the actual main event, the babyfaces actually went over. And that includes this match where Lex Luger gets the victory. And this was a fun match. In the middle of the match, Liz, they go backstage again where Russo's sitting there watching the show, and Liz comes up from behind on Russo, still wearing the same dress that Russo told her to change out of. And she's got a bat. She knocks Russo off his chair. Russo falls backwards with the bat. And then Liz walks out to the arena. She comes out still with the bat. She ends up, at one point, Buff Bagwell's going to the top rope, and Liz knocks him with the bat off the top rope. And I believe not too long after that, Luger put Buff Bagwell in the rack, and that was the end of that match. Luger got the win. Afterwards, though, Chuck Palumbo comes out, and he's like dressed up like with total package. He's got the same tights on, and he attacks Luger while Buff Bagwell is holding Liz back. And in the end of that segment, Chuck Palumbo puts Luger in the rack.
Luger's rack was lethal.
Oh my!
Okay.
Awkward
that,
silence.
Clip that, Trope. He's talking about Luger's rack.
Pause. Pause.
Pause.
Pause, Frank. Come on,
You're the
man.
one who said it. You're the one who said it, not me.
Come
Oh my.
on, man. Don't do that bullshit. State of
So
Survival says you guys are giving me something to listen to while taking a dump.
that's
Yeah.
lit.
If you want to
That's
watch
lit.
something while taking a dump, watch this show. Watch
No,
this.
this was a great show. He's never seen the show. If you want to watch a really good wrestling show that isn't about two guys going out doing crazy looking flips with no storylines, if you want to watch a wrestling show that is based off stories and the matches are actually based off stories, this is a damn good show to watch.
But if you want good matches,
You can go watch the crap of today where you get to watch boring ass wrestling with no storylines and none of that shit. Or
Maybe in
I got
AEW.
I gotta finish my story. I
Frank,
gotta finish
come
my
on, Frank, stop it.
story.
That's a
Frank.
storyline,
That's
Frank.
not a storyline. That's
Yes,
a
it is.
wrestling.
It's all
That's
part of a big storyline if you watch the fucking product.
That's a wrestling angle. I don't give a fuck
No, it.
about wrestling angles.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
gotta
Let's just get
finish my
back to
story.
2000. Let's just get back to WCW in the
Some great
2000s.
television. Yes.
It was great. It was such great television that the company didn't even last another 2 years.
yeah.
The company did not go out of
Bro,
business.
it didn't even last another year.
The company
Didn't
did
even last
not go
another
out of
year.
business because of what they were doing on TV. They were a poorly run business. That has nothing to do with TV.
They were not standing on business in this.
I didn't say they were standing on business. I said they were a poorly run business. That has nothing to do with what's on TV. If television, if what you do on television shows put you out of business, WWE would have been out of business 10 years ago. AEW would have been out of business a couple of years ago. The minute they went into business, what you do on the TV show has nothing to do with running a business.
Frank, they're not going to hire you. WCW is not going to hire you. You don't got to suck their dick so hard, bruh.
I'm not
You
trying.
can't go. We can't go back in time.
Why would I get hired by a company that's out of business? Okay, WWE's not going to hire you. Why you got to suck their dicks over today's
sucking WWE's dick?
You do. You
Frank's,
always say they're great. If I'm sucking WCW's dick by saying they're great, then you're sucking WWE's dick for saying they're great.
Well, one's still in business, the other one's not. So I mean,
yeah, well, the one's still in business because they know how to run a business. There's a big difference there.
Yeah.
And I loved WWE back then, back in the Attitude Era, early days of the Ruthless Aggression Era. They were great. They were better than WCW was.
Hey, Frank, I'm gonna say this: Cody Rhodes better than David Flair.
Yeah, but
so Frank, I take that we're not going to have you on the WrestleMania review this year.
No, you're not going to have me. Cody Rhodes is better than David Flair, yes, but at least David Flair had somebody to write something for.
Hey, Tro, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm
What?
going to get a video. I'm going to set a video. I'm going to say it's WCW. It's a WCW review, and then I'm going to say, just kidding, we're reviewing WrestleMania.
You might actually get more views. You might actually get more views, and then people will immediately turn it off after they see.
Well, to be fair, I think didn't we review the Royal Rumble and that got decent views?
That's got 300 views right now.
Yeah, there you go.
People aren't going to review. People aren't going to turn off a WrestleMania review. Are you out of your mind?
In 2024, who wants to listen to people talk about?
Plenty of people. Plenty of people wanted to listen. Plenty of people wanted to listen to our opinions on this year's Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber, even though we didn't really review it.
We kind of
did.
Yeah,
you didn't. No, you didn't. I watched that review. You didn't talk about it. Barely. You barely talked about it.
Yeah, we gave the results away.
That's not a review.
That's not really a review.
It's not a review. I've told you what a review is. A review is giving your thoughts, giving your opinions. That's why you have to watch the show.
I'm pretty certain I gave my thoughts.
You barely gave your thoughts. You went, okay, this guy faced this guy, blah, blah. And then next, this guy faced this guy, blah, blah. Next, this guy faced this guy. That's why your reviews last like 30 minutes because you're barely talking about anything.
Don't worry. I'm sure my WrestleMania vlog will get us the big views.
Probably. This guy faced this guy. Well, who cares about that? Let me tell you about a school story for about 7 millionth time.
You know,
Jesus
I've been trying. Hey, I've actually been trying to cut down.
No, you have. I give you credit on that.
I have been cutting down on those.
Jesus
Don't go there, Frank. Don't go there, Frank.
You know it's
I went to school with Zelina Vega.
I did. Well, I never met her, but I did. I did. We both went to PS33. Shout out PS33.
Show me your yearbook. Show me your yearbook. I want proof of
She's
this.
not in. I don't have a yearbook. It's a
Wow.
public.
Then you don't have proof, so you're lying.
You want proof? You want
I do.
proof?
We still have so many more
I
matches to go.
I can't. I technically can't show a DM because
You can't show it because you ain't got the proof.
If I get her fucking approval to actually show a DM on fucking stream, I will show it to you. Or actually, I'll show it to you after the show. How about that? I'll send you the picture after the show.
Bet.
Instead of actually, okay.
Oh, bet.
There you go. All right, so
He's-
yeah, because I'm not gonna, even though there's nothing like bad on it, you don't want to show somebody's DM.
It's a restraining order, isn't it, Frank? You can
It's
be
not a restraining order. What happened was I saw that she was in a PS33 group, so I hit her up on X and was like, "You went to 33, so did I." She's like, "Yep." She said it, and we're only like a couple of years older. She's like a couple years older than me by like 2 years, so she was definitely.
Wait. That was your whole conversation. You went to PS32?
Yes,
Yep.
33. Get
33?
it right.
Yep. Cool.
Yes.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
Conversation.
I'm not saying it was a great. I'm not saying it was a great conversation. I'm just saying I got confirmation from her that she did go to 33.
No wonder why you can't get laid if that was a conversation, buddy.
You can't get laid, bro. What do you think I'm hitting? I'm hitting up a famous pro wrestler to try to get laid as if she's gonna come to some nobody and be like, "Oh yeah, sure." Please, come on.
Shoot your shot, kid.
We still have so many more matches to go, and I only have like 30 more minutes.
Okay, keep going.
Anthony Beauvillier and Anna Kendrick. Shoot your shot. Where were
Rick
we?
and I can talk about this after we're done with the review. Go.
Now we got Mean Gene Okerlund interviewing Shane Douglas. Shane Douglas says that tonight he's going to retire Ric Flair. Shane Douglas comes out and says Kansas City is going to get to see Ric Flair's retirement tonight. And there's nothing they can do about it. So now Flair comes out and tells Douglas, hey, this is 1981. I'm going to style and profile, and I'm going to whoop your ECW ass. Great line. I'm going to whoop your ECW ass. Your dull, wrestling, burning tables and thumbtacks ass. Anyway.
Leave the memories alone. No.
Yeah, leave the boring memories of ECW alone. Anyway, this was a decent match. It was a little too short for my liking, though. Afterwards, the Flair, for some reason, Flair got 5 minutes with Russo, and before the match ended, actually, somebody in a Sting outfit with a Sting mask on comes down, and they're all like, "Oh, that's Vince Russo," and of course, so the Sting guy's standing on the outside when Ric Flair's waiting for him to come in. Here comes Luger, right? Yeah, here comes Luger. He takes the bat away from Sting, tosses Sting in the ring, and then, as Luger's standing with the bat, Vince Russo walks behind Lex Luger. I believe he takes the bat away from Luger and then knocks him out with the bat. And then, as Flair is looking one way forward, he's looking at what's going on. The Sting behind him pulls out a Statue of Liberty, bashes it over Ric Flair's head, and reveals himself to be. Who is it, Trump?
It's David Flair.
Damn right. And this was a great.
Go.
Oh God damn it! Here we go.
And
Oh,
this was a great story. This is a television storyline. The drama between a dad and a son, where
but
the
but
young
Cody's story's not a. But Cody's storyline's not.
no, that's a wrestling angle. I
We're
gotta
not
win
talking
the
about
belt.
modern WWE.
I gotta win the belt. That's a wrestling
Ah.
angle. That is a fucking wrestling angle. That's not a television storyline. But anyway, so David Flair and Russo beat down on Ric Flair, and then Kevin Nash comes out to save the day. But then out of nowhere, Nash gets a low blow from Daphne, and the whole Russo, David Flair, Daphne crew walk out pretty much as the winners of at least the post match. And then after that, oh well, give your thoughts on this, Tro.
It's David Flair. David Flair's never looked better in his career.
In WCW in 2000, yes, he never looked better.
Just
and he actually had something writing for him.
I actually heard that Sting, the real Sting, actually didn't wrestle his final match the other week. That was actually just David Flair who did all the stunts. See, Sting didn't go through glass. They actually used technology to make it look like it was him. It was actually David Flair going through all the glass.
Well, at least David Flair's younger. He's not fucking 70 years old going through glass. My gosh.
Yeah, that's why. That's why Ric Flair wanted. That's why Ric Flair wanted to turn on him again.
He's like in his mid 60s, I think. 65, right?
Probably, yeah, but not 70.
He's close to 70 though. And I love Sting. But there was absolutely no reason.
Hey Frank, after this, do you want to play WWE 2K?
Yeah, I guess. But there's no reason for Sting to have been doing some of this crazy shit he did in AEW. From jumping off ladders. I seen the clip of him jumping off that ladder. I did not see him go through glass. I'll say that. I saw the crazy glass spot that everybody knows of that actually got a fan injured. But yeah, some of the crazy shit Sting did at 65, he did not need to be doing. And I love Sting.
Don't get me started on that. I've already.
So Christian, what do you think you would have felt about this match?
David Flair. Boy.
David Flair, the great Dave. Well, in WCW in 2000, he was great because he actually had somebody writing for him.
Yeah. Ric Flair, leave the memories alone.
No doubt. Ric Flair definitely the better Flair.
Huh?
Ric Flair definitely the better Flair. I will say that. That doesn't mean David Flair wasn't.
I actually disagree with that statement.
You think David Flair is better than Ric Flair?
No. I'm thinking Charlotte.
Charlotte is a star. I will say that, but I don't know about that.
Wow.
No, I think she's the better Flair. Just,
imagine being David. Your father is better than you. Your sister's better than you.
Get to the bottom of this right here, right now.
I would have no problem being David Flair. At least I had an entertaining run in WCW in 2000. What?
I'm going to get to the bottom of this real quick.
What?
Move on.
What?
Please answer this one question.
What?
What is your beef with David Flair?
Go ahead. What's your beef with David Flair?
I didn't think I had a beef. I made a joke at the WrestleMania 24 review about how disappointing.
You're ripping on him at every turn.
I don't know. It became a running joke on accident because I think I also mentioned it at WrestleMania 25, and it just kind of evolved.
So just to be clear, you don't hate David Flair.
No, I think I'm sure David Flair is a good person, and he probably was entertaining in the 2000s. But the fact that he got his ass kicked.
You want to know what Ric Flair actually said as the reason why David Flair wasn't successful in the wrestling business? He was a good person. Essentially, that's what Ric Flair said. He was too nice for the wrestling business. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
He probably fit in perfectly today. I mean, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I don't think that the backstage politics go on as much as they do today.
No, they
go on today as they did back then.
Yeah, Undertaker doesn't like that.
Anyway, we gotta move on because you got what, like less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Sting versus Vampiro. This was a great angle. I love this storyline. So Sting gets the win here. Like I said, most of the main event matches, the babyface got the win, except for the main event. Sting got the win. I give this 4 stars. Tro, I don't really have anything else to say. We'll get when we get to some of their other pay per view matches. I'll have some stuff.
It's crazy. It's crazy how Sting could appear in the match before and in this match. Oh wait, that was Steve. Okay, I see. I'm starting to put together. It's Sting. What a fall from grace for Sting. He went from feuding with the NWO to facing Vampiro.
Oh, come on! This was a good angle. This was a good angle.
You shouldn't have said that, Tro. Frank's coming for your neck, buddy.
No, I'm just saying you go from feuding with Hulk Hogan for the world title to eventually facing Vampiro.
Hold on, you said that like I'm a big Vampiro fan. I'm not hating on Vampiro. He's good, but it's not like
I'm not hating on it either.
It's not like he was one of the big stars of WCW back then. But the one thing, this feud though is what I'm saying. This feud storyline with Sting was very entertaining. But that's about all Vampiro had going for him in WCW.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not hating on him either. I was just saying that's a bit of a fault to go from
that
to this.
Because he goes from a main
event.
I apologize. He goes from a main event angle to somewhat, he didn't go on last. We'll put it that way. But just because you're not going on last doesn't mean it still can't be good. But what are your thoughts on the match itself?
I thought it was a fine match. Sting is, and still was at the time, a great competitor in the ring, and
didn't need to be doing some of the shit he did in AEW.
No, I think he just wanted to do that shit for fun. To be honest, yeah.
I understand.
Just because he wanted to.
Yeah.
Because you want to doesn't mean you should.
Well, he did it because he knew he was retiring, so he said, screw it, might as well have as much fun as I can.
Never mind.
By the way, Tro hates on David Flair so much. Has David Flair ever stolen stuff? He's never stole. He's never, not that I know, he's never robbed a bank or anything like that. I know somebody in here named Tro who's got a whole bunch of bobbleheads, a bunch of Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads.
No, I don't.
Right now. You sure about that?
I think CJ has them.
Oh, CJ, how'd you do it?
He doesn't even know what we're talking about.
He doesn't. Wait. Look at my name. Look at my name. You see what my name says, right?
Lager bobblehead. Hey, look, I don't do baseball. I don't do hockey. That's not so.
Yeah, Jaromir Jagr is the greatest hitter of all time, man. Oh boy. Yeah. No, but what happened was
I said both baseball and hockey.
You said baseball first, so you said baseball first.
Okay.
Jaromir Jagr. So the Penguins had a Jaromir Jagr bobblehead day today. So if you go to the game today, you're supposed to get Jagr bobblehead. The problem is the bus carrying the Jagr bobbleheads got robbed. Somebody stole the Jagr bobbleheads. That's a real story going on right now.
Somebody stole the bus?
No, they stole the bobbleheads.
Oh,
that were on the bus, yeah. So that's they say they're gonna have to give out the bobbleheads on a later date. Which I'm guessing if they're gonna do that, they haven't got them back yet. How are they gonna get them back? How the hell are they gonna get them back there? They said that with like so much confidence. We'll reschedule it. Like, okay.
They're just gonna send Crosby after them.
Let's get back to the show.
Yeah. So
Yep.
Yeah. Are you done with your thoughts, Drew?
Yeah.
Okay. So Sting versus Vampiro. What do you think your thoughts would have been?
This wasn't one of those matches. This was a regular match, right?
This was a regular match. Yeah.
This wasn't the sick bump or whatever.
No, the next pay-per-view, Great American Bash, was the Human Torch match. Okay. And they had a cage match on Nitro that was really good.
Yeah, and like one of them fell off, right?
No, I think that would be the Human Torch match at Great American Bash.
Somebody fell off the freaking cage, I thought.
No, it was the Titantron, I believe, at Great American
Yeah,
Bash.
but somebody also fell off of the cage. I thought I could be wrong.
I'm pretty, yeah.
Sting is a living legend. I'm pretty sure that he could have made this one work.
He did. He did.
Yeah, there we go. Christian gets it right again. Continue.
Okay, now we got Mike Tenay interviewing DDP and Arquette, David Arquette. And Tenay says to David Arquette, this could be the end of your acting career. To which Arquette says, yeah, you're right, it could be. And DDP looks at Arquette and says, just stick to the plan
Yeah,
and you will be fine.
yeah, I remember that. I remember that. I was gonna say, didn't he say something like, "Just stick by my side, kid. You'll be
Yep.
fine."
Essentially, that's what it was.
Yeah. I remember watching this interview. So yeah,
That's about all he saw was that interview and the Triple Cage.
yeah.
What a great reviewer.
Fuck you. How about that? Fuck you.
Next, we have Kevin Nash looking for Vince Russo because again, this goes back to the whole David Flair stuff where Nash tried to do the save and Daphne low blowed him. So Nash is now looking for Russo. That was a few seconds of him just looking around backstage. Mike Tenay again. He is interviewing Billy Kidman. Kidman says he's beat Hogan 3 times. He'll do it again tonight, especially having Eric Bischoff with the stripes. To which Eric Bischoff says, Bischoff is a part of this interview as well. To which he says he's going to call it right down the middle tonight. And it's going to be a great night for Billy Kidman, and it's going to be a great night for the New Blood. To which we get the match of the night, in my opinion. Billy Kidman, Hulk Hogan, round 4. And yeah, they did some great stuff. There was some tables in there. There was nice back and forth. The crowd was excited for Hogan, and
Of
like I
course they
said,
were. It's Hulk fucking Hogan,
of course, the greatest of all time.
the goat.
Yes, sir. And in the end,
I
like I
really-
said, like I said, with
Let's
the
finish real quick. Go ahead.
with the main events, except for the last one, the actual main event itself, the baby faces won these matches. Hogan finally got his win back off Kidman. Kidman, like he said in the pre-match promo, he had beaten Hogan 3 times. Well, this was Hogan getting his win back, and it was a phenomenal match. What were you going to say,
I was
Christian?
gonna say, a lot of people want to hate and shit all over Hulk Hogan, and to that I say, just shut the hell up,
Right.
because when you do that, you basically say that nothing you did matters. You're a piece of shit, and you're always going to be a piece of shit, and that's it. And I look, did he say certain words that you probably ought to not say? Yes, I have two. All right,
Yeah.
I have two. I will admit it.
You
You
don't
can,
have to admit it. Anybody who watches the channel would see a recent video.
yeah. It was an accident.
It was
It
an
was an
accident. It
accident,
was an accident, yes.
and
And you did apologize for
I
it.
did. I did. And yeah, exactly.
Right.
And Hogan apologized, I believe. So, I mean, you know,
I will say this. Oh, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I was just gonna say, you got people have to learn to forgive and forget. It's a word, people. What the hell? How does a word hurt you?
Oh, I
Go ahead.
thought you said it to work. I was going to say, well, he didn't say it on TV. No, guys, I see what you're saying. Okay.
It's a
Uh,
word. Duh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, what I would say about it is there's a difference between Terry Bollea and Hulk Hogan.
Well,
I separate the character from the person. I have
even
no
still,
idea.
sure, the person didn't even mean to.
And if he apologized, yeah. But what I'm saying is I separate the person from the character. I'm not gonna sit here and bash Hulk Hogan's career just because Terry Bollea made a mistake and did
Yeah,
something he shouldn't do.
and there's a certain podcaster out there, or not a podcast. Well, yeah, he is a podcaster and his little host, and they tend to just shit all over everything that Hogan says and does. And
Is this the guy who blocked me over supporting
this
Rusev?
is somebody completely different, but he's very famous in the wrestling business. I'm pretty sure you could put two and two together as to who I'm talking about.
Tro, do you know?
He's from Louisville, Kentucky.
No,
Wait, from Louisville, Kentucky. Yes, the guy who blocked.
Jim Cornette,
Yeah,
Okay,
good guy.
yeah, the guy that
that
blocked.
is the guy who blocked
Yeah,
Nova Russo.
He's a
yeah,
good man.
the little fucking
That's
pussy that blocked you.
I was
Yeah,
I was
Jim,
gonna
He's not.
say
I mean,
I
he's
was
not.
gonna say he's gonna block you now.
I don't give
If
a
you're
fuck.
actually calling
Jim.
him out. If he's gonna
Jim, I do not agree with these people what they're saying. I'm being held hostage against my will. I only picked this match to make fun of Russo, Jim. I love you, Jim Cornette. Fuck
Jim
Santino
Cornette,
Morella.
Jim Cornette. I'm not going there. Go ahead,
Jim,
next match.
so Jim Cornette blocked me over something that had nothing to do, a tweet that had nothing to do with him, just because his goon tagged him in it. Imagine what he would do if he saw
Because he's
you
a
saying
bitch.
this.
That's why. Because Jim Cornette's a little bitch.
But I'm saying
You
you're
can't
actually.
you can't say anything about him
I
without
didn't
you
say
feel
anything about him.
no
You
no no
didn't
no
say anything about
no
him.
no. But I'm saying you can't or and his follower you can't say anything
Yeah,
about his followers being little snitches because
yeah.
just as much as he's a little bitch, his followers are little snitches. And quite frankly, fuck all of them.
I
Fuck the
don't know how.
net. They
I
truly
would.
are a cult
Oh,
to just go away. They
I
need to
would
drink the
love.
Kool-Aid. They
I
need
would.
to drink the Kool-Aid.
oh, okay. No, well, let's not, fucking promote suicide here, my dude.
No,
I didn't
yeah.
say anything about suicide. I said drink
You
Kool-Aid.
said drink the Kool Aid, and drink the Kool Aid is, the thing where
That's
that
not
other
no,
fucking
no, no,
cult
no.
did to
You're
kill.
putting words in my mouth. I
I
didn't
think
say
he
anything
meant
about that.
something. He did
I
mean
didn't say
something.
anything about that. Frank, did you
Right.
hear me say
No,
anything about that?
no. That's why it can't. I thought like, what's he mean by it? What's Tro mean by it? But no, I see what you. I get what you're saying. See now, what I'm trying to say is he blocked me over something that had nothing to do with him. That wasn't even directed at him. Imagine how he'd react if he saw you saying this. I just he ain't never watching
Let's
this show.
block me because then I never have to hear his fucking annoying ass podcast host's voice
Okay,
again. Fuck Brian Last too. He's a little weasel fuck too.
okay. We know you hate Cornette and Brian Lance, but Tro, what did you think of Hogan
I
and
hold them as they're about as legitimate as Dave Meltzer, in my humble opinion.
Oh dear God.
Continue.
Okay, what do you think of
Well, we got, I got about 10 more minutes left in the show. We still have 2 more matches to go. Hulk Hogan, in 2000 was something else, but he also had his little cousin Horse Hogan,
who
who just
was
wanted to be,
he
he just
was
wanted to be Stone Cold.
he looks like something, yeah.
Stone
Yeah,
Cold. Stone Cold.
Horace Hogan not on the level as Hulk Hogan. There's no doubt about
No,
it. Is that all you got to say about the match?
no. Well, Hulk Hogan would have a very interesting 2000, just to say the least.
So the next segment, Russo is seen leaving the arena with Liz. He puts Liz into a bus, which the announcer said that Luger was in that bus earlier in the night. And then Russo hops in a car, drives away, and the camera pans over to the garage area where Russo ran out of. And you see Kevin Nash standing there drinking a beer, kind of nonchalantly. It's like, yeah, I'll get him next time, type shit, you know? Like, he can't run from me forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we got the main event Triple Cage, Ready to Rumble cage match
Oh boy.
for the WCW title. And you guys can heckle and do all the oh god you want. This was a really good match. First off, look what it says on the tape. By the way, read the bottom right there. 3 cages, two warriors. Doesn't say 3 warriors, by the way. And you see right there, DDP and Jeff Jarrett. This was DDP and Jeff Jarrett's match. David Arquette barely had to do anything. He stood around, ran away from Jeff Jarrett for a few seconds, which led to a nice little spot where Jarrett runs into a clothesline because they do the spot where the guy runs into the ring, jumps out of the
Yeah.
ring quickly, and the guy gets up clothesline. They did that scene or spot, excuse me. The one thing David Arquette did was he actually did a dive off the top rope, which I'm shocked the internet didn't go crazy for. That's what the type of shit they love. David Arquette, maybe he needed to turn it into like a 450 shooting star through a burning table, or maybe through glass. If it was through glass and it hit a fan in the eye, it would have been the greatest. Oh, it would be "This is awesome" chants all over. But yeah. So in the end, our when Jarrett and DDP get to the second level, that's where, for the most part, once they got to the second level, Arquette was just standing there doing nothing. Again, like I said, he barely was a part of this match. But few minutes later, he goes to the middle, but then goes to the top, and essentially is going up there to block Jeff Jarrett from getting the belt, or so we think. A little later in the match, both Jarrett and DDP are climbing to the top level to get the belt.
Yeah.
DDP has given Arquette a guitar to hit Jarrett with and to keep Jarrett from going up. So they both coming up, and just as they get up, Jarrett takes the guitar, whacks it off DDP's head, brings Jarrett up. Did I say Jarrett? I meant Arquette takes the guitar, whaps it off DDP's head, and he brings Jarrett up.
I'm not going to make the joke. I'm not going to make the joke. Go ahead.
Jarrett brings him up. Jarrett gets the belt. He's your winner. And like I said, this was a fun match. David Arquette literally barely did anything. It's not like he went out there and tried to wrestle a 5-star Meltzer match.
No.
Which I can't believe. Look, nothing against David Arquette. He was very entertaining and ready to rumble. He was entertaining in the stuff he did in WCW. If I remember correctly, he was in the Buffy movie too. He was good in that too.
He was good in the Scream movies too.
I have not seen Scream yet, but I'm sure he was.
Courtney Cox was in them too.
I know. That's why I said yet, because I know she was in them. I would love to see them, but I can't believe David Arquette, with all respect to him, was so much of a mark that he was so upset with how the internet fans felt about him being in WCW that he wanted to come back to wrestling and do stupid ass death matches just so he can get the so-called stench of him being in WCW in 2000 off.
Pretty bad stench.
Not a bad stench at all. Entertaining moment, him winning the title, and like I said,
let me ask you, Frank, because you keep saying that word. What was so entertaining about this run?
It was good. It was good comedy. Putting the belt on him, he wins the belt again. Like I said, he wins the belt.
So hang on. Do you think that they should reduce the world title to comedy?
Oh my gosh, it's a prop. It's a prop. I've said it before. It's a prop. You're not reducing anything. Putting the prop.
But you got to understand that you say it's a prop.
It is
something to the wrestlers. It's like
I know it means something. It means money. But putting the belt or putting the prop on David Arquette does not take the money away from the wrestlers. Somebody will win the belt.
It does, because it puts the money. It gives the money to him.
And that's not what I'm saying. I know it puts some money on him, but he dropped the belt literally a couple weeks later. The next guy, Jarrett, got the money next. It didn't take anything away. There's no fake. There's no fake prestige into a title. You're not taking anything away. It's a television show. It's a television show. That's what it was. It was an entertaining spot on a television show. That's all it literally was. And he did not wrestle a million matches as a champ in this 1 year run as champ or anything like that. He won the belt on a fluke by pinning Eric Bischoff. And then in literally the one match where he defended the title, he was in the match with two other guys where he didn't have to do anything. By the way, a few weeks ago when we were talking about this, I said he was in there with a million people. I normally think that triple cage matches do have a bunch of guys. I didn't remember this was only 3 people. But yeah, he was in there with 2 other guys. He didn't have to do anything. And he barely did anything.
Well, I thought this match was something. It's a swerve, bro. It's a swerve. We're just gonna swerve them, bro.
Swerves are good.
Swerves are not very good. Not when they just come out of nowhere for no reason.
Yeah.
I mean, his explanation the next night. Well, he was entertaining the next night. He was like, "Shit!"
I will give WCW props for doing something different and I apologize because we have comments that we got to read. But
Again, we're not reading the comments.
but I will say I will give props to WWE for doing or for WCW. I will give props to WCW for doing something different and doing a triple cage instead of a regular cage.
Yeah, the triple cage match was cool. I will say
Uh,
It's definitely an idea.
I apologize to you. You've been making comments. He says, knowing what you guys know about wrestling, what would it take to make another WWE/WWF? Is it possible to do something more grassroots and grow from there? I think there is room for something fresh. AEW. There is a wrestling company called AEW, and they are
Yeah,
trying.
they're the closest thing.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's the closest thing. Review WrestleMania 1. Thoughts? I've talked about that with
That
Tro.
would be cool. It would be a cool idea because
that'll
we
be
do
something.
have.
That'll be something we do in the future, definitely.
Yeah, that's for sure. Is Hogan hard up for money? God damn, still at it. Hogan's not
No,
wrestling.
he's not wrestling.
he wants to.
24 years ago.
Yes, 24 years ago.
He wants to wrestle still though. So
Overall,
every now and again.
Overall rating for the show, I give this 9.5 out of 10. It's a really good show.
I give this a
Go
5 out of 10.
I disagree with that. You didn't watch it, but what would your what do you think you'd give this out of 10?
Probably a 6.
Okay. I disagree with both of your ratings, but respectfully, I disagree.
One last thing, because it'll be quick. We didn't mention this, but they did a spot off the top of the cage with somebody pulling through.
Yes.
And seeing how this was just about 1 year after Owen died at the same fucking arena, not exactly a very good spot to do, considering every fucking thing that happened.
I agree with that. That is the one thing I would say I would, if I could take something away from this show and have it not happen, it would be that. Yeah, that. I don't know what the hell anybody was thinking. You know where you are. You know how Owen Hart died. Why would anybody? How did somebody not say, "Look, guys, not the time nor the place"? Literally, like less than 20 days away from the 1 year anniversary in the same building.
How did Vince Russo not say anything?
That's
you would that, yeah. How Russo was. Yeah,
considering how he's kind of the reason why Owen was the Phil was in the first place.
It was his idea, yes, but it was it was an accident. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I think
it was mainly, if you want to put somebody at fault, it's the people who did the rigs.
Well, yeah, they're the main. They're one of the main causes.
But I agree with you. I agree with you though. How Vince Russo told them not. I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out like those two guys didn't tell anybody they were going to do it. Those two guys, meaning Kenyon and Mike Awesome, like if they just didn't tell anybody they were going to do it, I have no idea if that would be the case.
Yeah.
Who better?
You would think Russo would say, "Hell no, guys, no."
I mean, when Benoit did what he did, they dropped an angle that had nothing to do with any of what he did.
Yeah, because Mr. McMahon was dead. So of course you can't do that angle when you got a murder-suicide going on at the same time.
They also stopped people from doing the crossface for like many years afterwards.
Well, I'll say this though. They actually at Survivor Series 2007, literally later that year, I think it was Shawn Michaels versus Orton. They did a crossface spot in that match, which surprised me. I'm telling you, they did. I watched the show.
I'm not down. I'm just like, no, don't do it. No. Shawn, no.
I actually have actually a little bit of an announcement to make, Tro. You don't know. You don't even know this yet, but I know I said you and me were going to review WrestleMania 27, but something that Frank said got to me about we don't have to do these shows just because it's WrestleMania. And he's right. So with that being said,
Survivor Series
27, I'm going to spare you, Tro, and instead we're going to go ahead and do No Mercy 2002.
Whoa.
We gotta include Frank on that one, CJ.
Yeah. Sorry.
We've done that one already, though. Actually, you can do that with him because we've done it already.
Oh, never mind. If we've already done it, then never mind. And in that case, we are going to do Elimination Chamber.
Oh, dear God.
Elimination Chamber 2014.
And let me look something up. Let me see what I want to do next.
Fuck what you want to do, Frank.
Yeah, because I picked. I was the one who picked this show. Unfortunately, I wasted my pick.
Well,
What's your pick, Tro? We'll do your pick. What's yours?
No. We could do Elimination Chamber
No. We do my
2014. That
picks
was
all
a
the time. We do my picks
that
all the
was
time.
that,
What show do you
that was a
want to do?
fun show.
What?
Um,
I know what I
It's-
want. I know what I want to do. But go ahead, True.
you know, CJ, since we were both tortured so horribly in this show, I
Yeah.
think I think your suffering hasn't ended just quite yet,
Oh, Jesus.
because I think it's time that we get extreme.
Oh, God damn. Are you
I'm
gonna say-
talking about ECW One Night Stand 2005, the better of the two shows.
All right, I'll do that. Yeah.
Let me just say that though. Let me just say you
Oh.
do. You remember we did that. I mean,
We
I'm
did.
Oh,
saying
yeah?
that's why I'm saying you guys can do No Mercy 02 because we did it already.
But then
Like, if you wanna
I'll do One Night Stand 06 then.
There we
I
go.
believe we did that too.
Jesus Christ.
Let me check though. Let me check. I could be.
Now
wrong.
that doesn't sound like you two.
No, what we used to do is we used to go back and forth. Whoever picks it, and he used to always pick the crappy 06 shows and shit. Oh no, you know what we did? We did December to Dismember, so I don't think we actually
You could
did
do 06. We could do
Yeah.
One Night Stand.
One Night
Okay.
Stand 06. Yeah, go ahead. Y'all can do that. Now what I want to do you remember Christian the show that I suggested I wanted to do before I left?
No,
You
I
don't
don't.
remember? It would be the February 19th, 2004 SmackDown, the show right after No Way Out 2004, which was the first pay-per-view I ever saw. We're gonna review the SmackDown right after. It has Eddie Guerrero's celebration. It has Eddie versus Chavo. It has a great ending with a swerve, even though it wasn't written by Roots. There was a swerve at the end that was really
Blur,
good.
bro.
That was really good and building towards the main event of. By the way, WrestleMania 20. I cannot believe this. WrestleMania 20 turned 20 today. 20
Yeah.
years ago. Where has the time gone? But yeah, we will next show we will review SmackDown February 19th, 2004. And are we still doing, or are you just picking with Tro, or are we still doing this back and forth, or am I just going to pick all of our shows from now on?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, if you pick something that's in the time period, you can. But and just so everybody knows, I do weekly shows a lot, but that doesn't mean I won't pick.
One day we need to do a WrestleMania marathon. That would be a long video.
That would be long. Yeah. Who said that? State of Survival.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
Oh
would.
boy.
So
Hey,
Yeah,
State
so-
of Survival, stay tuned because after this, Frank and I are going to go live and play WWE 2K.
So yeah, even though I have not chosen a pay-per-view in a long time, doesn't mean I won't choose a pay-per. I mean, we did just do a pay-per-view, but right now I love reviewing weekly shows, and that's going to be our next show. And by the way, as we always ask him, this time he's here so we can ask him to his face. Tro, February 19th, 2004 SmackDown, the night after, the first SmackDown after No Way Out 2004. Do you want to be a part of it?
Sure.
Bet. So stay tuned for that, folks. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, join us. And until next time,
Yes.
he's Frank, he's Tro, I'm CJ. We out. Deuces.